Dash here, and I wanted to come to you today with a video to give you guys a little background on what exactly my experience was last month. I've gotten some comments and things, and I realized that, you know, I did a couple ride-alongs, and I did the introduction video where I explained what I was doing, and then gave an update to the Dasher status, and then that's kind of where it's been left. So I want to kind of go over what my experience has been. And, you know, I had kind of indicated that I was really disappointed about this whole Top Dasher situation. I was considering not going further with accepting a bunch of orders, and there's a reason for that. And, you know, the experience I got, one of the comments was, hey, you've only experienced between 50 and 70% priority, and that is not true, actually. So I want to kind of, but I hadn't told that story, and I hadn't let anybody know. I think I had posted a couple screenshots and things, but as everybody knows, I got the idea to become Top Dasher. Well, to not only become Top Dasher, but to become a Diamond Dasher. And I was planning to become a Diamond Dasher and Top Dasher and see if I could maintain it for the entire month of July. And I had some ideas that I wanted to test out in regards to Diamond Dashing and being able to maintain that, multi-apping and working all the apps, and being able to go in and out of a dash. And that's what was going to be required to do it. And then, of course, we hit this little bump in the road with DoorDash not recognizing my acceptance rate. But I wanted to kind of tell you guys what I went through. Last month, as everybody knows, I got my acceptance rate up. I went to 86%, and that was the day that everything crashed and burned. And I started, my completion rate went down. My completion rate was at 100%. And my acceptance rate was at 86%. I said, okay, today I'm going to start maintaining my acceptance rate. And I was expecting fully that we were going to see really strong, really good orders. I'm at 86%, and I'm like, I'm going to maintain this thing. And then it was unbelievable. I got worse orders at 86% than I ever have gotten lower and below. So what ended up happening is I didn't see good orders. I didn't see a large order program. I saw like one large order program, and it was for $16. And I used to see 3 or 4 a night when I would be filtering orders and sitting here turning down orders, and I was still staying around 20 to 30%. Again, I got the 30% organically, doing my old style, multi-apping, filling in other apps when DoorDash wasn't doing well, and turning the DoorDash app off or pausing it. And I realized I was starting to think to myself, what's happening here? So I have had experience, but I thought, no, don't make any conclusions yet, okay? Let's just, and it got really, really bad. Before I left for vacation, DoorDash, I mean, it was bad. The orders I was seeing, the orders I was doing, and to maintain the 70%, because I literally got down to where I was at 70% and I had to stay. And I went up to 71, I went up to 72, I went up to 73, I went down to 72, down to 71. And eventually I got to a point where when I got to 70%, I just turned the app off, and I didn't dash on that Friday before. I actually did a Grubhub order, and I didn't end up dashing on the Saturday before I left, which I'd already planned not to unless it was necessary. But that Friday I was planning to go and have a whole day, and I said, there's no way I'm doing it. Not with the way DoorDash has just abused the hell out of me for that entire week of just keeping me hanging around the 70s and just throwing me garbage order after. And we're not talking about little garbage. We're talking big garbage. We're talking $4 for 12 miles. It was hideous. So I have the experience above it, and I didn't see the pot of gold. Now, everything's market dependent. I've preached that. I understand that. I'm not saying my experience in my market is what everyone else is going to see. And perhaps I was thinking to myself, well, maybe it's because I'm not able to just end my dash like I see some people do who get the Top Dasher privilege, and they can end their dash, drive dead miles over to a good section, turn it back on, and in the meantime, while the app is turned off, they're ending their dash, they're resetting all their numbers, and then they go back in fresh dash, and they get to look at a fresh order, and allegedly, since they're at over 70%, 80%, they're getting priority in the area, so they drop in and there's a good miles to money order, and bam, it hits their phone and they get it. Or if they don't even need to turn DoorDash back on because they've got Uber going, Grubhub going, Instacart, whatever. That was my theory I was going to work with, because I thought in this market, there's no way in the world I can keep DoorDash going all the time. because the orders are so hideous. And then again, one of my videos that got a lot of people, a lot of skepticism, the priority video. I saw it happening because I started to get the same customers back that I was going through when I was accepting every order. Some of those low tipping or no tipping customers were boomeranging back to me because I had provided them with a good service and they hit me with a 5-star, which was nice. I was happy that they weren't dinging my customer rating, but I got them back. And now here I am trying to maintain my acceptance rate with a sub $1 a mile order, a $5 for 7 miles, a $4.25 for 8 miles, and here they are coming back. And sure enough, because I have the ability to look to see where I've been at because of how I track things, I could see, wait a minute, I've been to this house before, and plus some of them was recent. So I have the experience. So I wanted to clarify that. I got a good taste for about a week of having that 70 plus priority, in fact 80 plus priority. And what only thing that happened to me was my acceptance rate went down because I was like, these orders are not going to make me money and I can't do this. I'm not going to sit here and take these crazy orders. I've got to draw a line in the sand at some point because I'm not making any money. The order value is so poor on these orders that if I sit here and do this, I'm going to make $13 an hour. And that's what I did. There were some nights and days that I went out and made $13 an hour while I was out when I'm supposedly in the honeypot. I'm supposedly in the spot that I'm getting all the good stuff. So again, I know my market has it. I know there's good things out here. I know I was making money. I know that in the month of May, I was making 26 an hour just for the time I was out across the board on average. 26, an average order value of 26 and a $38 delivery value. Now I was only working about 70% of the time, but I was making money when I was out. I was making money fast. I was making my $100 in 2.5 delivery hours on average, over about 2.6 delivery hours and 3.85 hours out as just sitting in my car. And then that all dropped in June. In June, it went up to over 5 hours for delivery time. I think it was 5.2 and almost 6 hours, a little over 6 hours for my average contract value, or for the time I was out, my just time out searching for orders. That's unacceptable. To see the difference between when I'm doing my normal approach and then seeing the approach that I know a lot of people are using out there and essentially letting DoorDash decide what I earn, it was not, in my opinion, good. It wasn't end of the world. Could someone do it? Yes. Are they going to make a lot of money? Absolutely not. And they're going to barely get by, and it's going to be a struggle, and they're going to get angry, and they're going to get mad, and they're going to get upset, and they're going to end up having their car break down on them, and they're not going to have the funds to handle that issue because they've let DoorDash run them to the ground while squeaking by and making very small amounts, just enough probably to cover their base bills, never enough to set anything aside. And that's not where we can live. And I saw that in real time. Now, I didn't have a tremendously large sample size, but I saw that. And if DoorDash is going to play with me like they are on their acceptance rate, and we don't get this taken care of, then I am definitely not going to go back and serve them up because what I concluded is you're doing more orders, okay? You're going to do more orders and make the same or less money. And their goal is to get you to do more volume. That's their goal. That's what Earn by Time's about. That's what Diamond Program's about. That's what the upcoming reward program's about. It's about volumizing the Dasher and saying instead of making their money in 10 orders, they do it in 20 or 25. They don't earn more for 25. They earn the same, or they earn potentially less, sometimes a lot less. And that's their goal, because DoorDash makes the same amount of money per order, regardless of tip size or what the Dasher pay is. They're making money, and all they want to do is see that order delivered, done, and essentially turn in the money in their bank account. And then they say, well, we want to keep the Dashers coming back. So they hook us through their means and ways they do it, through programs, through gamification, through gamification, through all the different things. And I saw that in real time. I'm seeing it. I can see what's happening, what their game is. But I also know I have a decision on how I play that game. And perhaps maybe the way I play the game in the long run, it'll figure it out and it'll start to combat how I'm doing things. But the thing about it is it's not going to necessarily, my thought process and premise is, since if you're using multiple apps, multiple gigs, multiple ways to make money, then it's always going to be short-term and little, and it's never going to have the chance. It's never going to know what you're doing. It's never going to figure out your game or how you're coming in. It might know you're working other apps, but it won't be able to get a long-term strategy unless you give them all of your attention like they want you to. Play their games, get their rewards, get their diamonds, get their things, and then you're going to do it. Anyways, I wanted to share this with you guys. Some of you may not agree with it, but I'm telling you from an empirical, data-driven approach, looking at my numbers, looking at things. This is what I saw, and I did get to dash above 80, and it crashed. I'm willing to do it again, but we got to see what DoorDash does here with my acceptance rate. I'm not going to play their games here where they're gonna mess around with this thing, because I should be top dasher this month. I want to be top dasher for the sole purpose of having an entire month that I can go in and out of a dash, and I want to see how it can be done and work my strategy. If not, then I guess what I will do is I'll have to decide how I want to do this and what my approach is, but I need them to come to a conclusion on exactly what my acceptance rate is so we can have it right. And then I'll do probably 100 dashes with them like I did last month. Maybe we're doing it in August. We'll see. I don't know. I have to think. Or maybe I won't do it at all, and I'll just say, you know what, I'm going to go back. But those will all be things that will be decided once DoorDash and I come to a resolution with this situation with my acceptance rate. Anyways, guys, I appreciate everybody that watched today's video. I appreciate everybody that's watching my videos, commenting, interacting. I encourage everybody, again, start a YouTube channel. Put out a video. Let me know about it. I will watch it. Share your thoughts, share your experience. I want to hear it. Everybody should want to hear it. The more experiences we share, the more things we share, the more stuff that's going on, the more things we can see, the better we become. And we have a chance to turn the water cooler into a monetized paying gig, and that is awesome, and that's amazing. And I encourage everybody to take advantage of that right in front of you, and go create an opportunity to get paid. Anyways, guys, as always, stay safe, stay profitable, and I'll talk to you.